The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. My precious, beloved child, stop everything right now. Put down whatever is in your hands. Silence the distractions around you and listen to me. These are my final few words to you in this season, and I do not speak them lightly. This is it. No more chances like before. What happens next will shock you to your core. It will shake the foundations of everything you thought you knew, and I need you to hear this before it is too late. Please listen to me. Do not delay. Do not scroll away. Do not tell yourself you will come back later. Later is a promise that tomorrow may not keep. I am Jesus, and I am speaking directly to you, not to the crowd, not to the world, not to those who will ignore this voice, but to you. I see where you are sitting right now. I see the thoughts moving through your mind like clouds across a stormy sky. I see the weight in your chest, that heavy, crushing pressure you've carried for so long. And I see the quiet fear you try so hard to hide behind a smile. I have watched you for a long time. I have followed you through moments when you called my name in desperation and moments when you pretended you did not hear me calling yours. I know every excuse you have made, every delay you have justified, every warning you felt in your gut and pushed aside because it was inconvenient. Nothing about you is hidden from me. Nothing. I need you to understand what I am saying now. When I say no more chances, I am not saying I have stopped loving you. My love for you is eternal, unchanging, unbreakable. I am saying that the season of gentle reminders is ending. I am saying that the time of repeated warnings is closing. I have spoken to you through signs you couldn't miss, through people who crossed your path at just the right moment, through quiet convictions in your heart that wouldn't go away, through moments where you felt my presence wrapping around you like a warm blanket, and moments where you felt a deep unrest that stole your peace. Again and again, I gave you space to turn, space to choose, space to obey. You felt it, you knew it, and still, you delayed. My child, I have been patient beyond what you can imagine. I waited while you stayed in places I told you to leave years ago. I waited while you held on to habits that were slowly killing your spirit, draining your life force day by day. I waited while you compromised truth for comfort and peace for familiarity. I waited while you said, just a little longer, I'll change tomorrow. But now I tell you the truth in love. A door is about to close, and when it closes, it will not reopen the same way again. What is coming will not feel gentle. It will not feel slow. It will not feel familiar. There is a shift already moving in the unseen, like deep tectonic plates grinding together beneath the ocean floor, and when it reaches the surface, many will be shaken. Things you thought were stable will fall. Things you trusted will fail. Voices you listened to will go silent. Plans you depended on will collapse like houses of cards. This is not meant to destroy you, but it will expose what you have built your life on, and only what is rooted in me will remain standing. I see your fear rising as you hear this. I see the panic starting to flutter in your chest, and I need you to stay with me. Do not shut your heart now. I am not speaking to scare you. I am speaking to save you. I am warning you because I love you. I would not speak this clearly if I had given up on you. I am calling you because there is still a narrow moment to respond, a small window of opportunity. But that moment is now. You know where you have been resisting me. You don't need me to list it. Your spirit is already highlighting it. You know the area of your life you keep protecting from my touch.
You know the relationship you cling to even though it poisons you, the decision you refuse to make, the secret you keep hidden in the dark, the pattern that you have told yourself you can't break, the thing I have told you to release.
The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. You told yourself it was not that serious. You told yourself you had time. You told yourself grace would always wait. But my child, grace is not permission to delay obedience. Grace is power to change, and power ignored becomes judgment. I have seen your tears in private. I have heard the prayers you whispered at night when no one else was listening. Prayers for freedom, for change, for relief. I know you are tired. I know you feel torn between who you are and who you know you should be. I know the battle that rages inside you. I know you feel afraid of what obedience will cost you. But listen to me closely now. What disobedience will cost you is far greater. If you continue on this path, you will wake up one day and feel my silence where my voice once was. You will look for peace and find confusion. You will ask for direction and feel emptiness. Not because I vanished, but because you trained your heart to ignore me. I will not force you. I never have. Love does not force, but love does warn. And this is your warning. Yet hear me clearly, my child. If you turn now, fully, honestly, without excuses, without delay, I will cover you. I will protect you in what is coming. I will lead you where others stumble. I will restore what you thought was lost. I will give you clarity while others panic. I will give you peace while the world shakes. But this protection is not for those who pretend. It is for those who surrender. Do not wait for another sign. Do not wait for another confirmation. Do not wait for things to get worse before you decide to move. This message is the sign. This moment is the confirmation. This stirring in your spirit is me calling you one last time before things change. I am not angry with you. I am grieved. I grieve because I see the future I prepared for you, a future of hope, purpose, and joy, and I see how close you are to missing it. I grieve because I see how much more freedom you could walk in if you would just let go of the chains you cling to. I grieve because I know how hard the coming days will be for those who refuse to listen. Please, my beloved, listen to me. Lay it down now, whatever it is. Confess, repent, turn fully. Choose me not with words, but with action. Let this be the moment where everything changes. Let this be the line you never cross again. Let this be the day you remember for eternity as the turning point of your soul. These are my final few words to you in this season. What happens next depends on what you do with them. I have spoken. I am waiting, and I am still here. For now. My beloved child, I am speaking to you now, and I need you to understand who is speaking. This is not a thought you imagined in a moment of stress, not a feeling you created out of guilt, not words formed by chance or algorithm. I am Jesus. I am the one who was before your first breath and who will remain long after your last. I am the one who formed you in your mother's womb, who knows you completely, better than you know yourself, and who stands with authority over heaven, earth, time, and eternity. When I speak, it is not to fill silence. I do not waste words. When I speak, it is because what I say carries life.
truth, weight, power. And now, I am speaking to you. I see you, not the version of you that others see, not the polished version you show to survive at work or at church, not the version you pretend to be when you are tired of explaining yourself to people who don't understand. I see the real you. I see you when you wake up and already feel heavy before your feet hit the floor. I see you when your mind races at night and your heart feels split between hope and fear. I see you when you smile at people but feel empty inside, when you stay quiet to keep the peace but are screaming in your soul. Nothing about you is hidden from me. Nothing. I know everything. I know the thoughts you never say out loud because you think they're too dark or too doubtful. I know the memories you try not to revisit because they hurt too much. I know the questions you were afraid to ask because you fear the answer, or worse, you fear silence. I know where you have been hurt. I saw it happen. I know who wounded you. I know the moment your trust cracked and the moment you decided to guard your heart more than before, building walls to keep the pain out. I know the promises you made to yourself in the dark and the ones you broke in the light. I know the prayers you prayed with faith that moved mountains and the prayers you stopped praying because waiting became too painful and hope became too heavy. I know the times you felt close to me, so close you could almost touch me, and the times you felt distant and wondered if I had moved away, if I had abandoned you, if I had forgotten you. Hear me clearly now. I never moved. I never looked away. I never stopped watching over you, not for a second.
My authority does not come from volume or force. It comes from truth. I am the Word made flesh. When I speak, creation listens. Storms still, darkness retreats, hearts awaken, dead things come to life. And yet, when I speak to you, I do not come as a distant ruler shouting from a throne. I come as the one who knows your name, who calls you my own. I hold all power in the universe, and still I choose to speak gently to your heart, because love is my nature. This message is personal. It is not generic. It is not meant for everyone who hears it. It is meant for you. I arranged this moment. I aligned the timing. I cleared the distractions. I placed you here because I knew your heart would be open enough to listen right now. Even if you feel tired, even if you feel unsure, even if you feel unworthy, you are not here by accident. You did not stumble into this moment. I brought you here because I wanted you to hear my voice again, clearly and directly. I know you sometimes doubt whether I truly see you. You wonder if your life is too small, your struggles too ordinary, your mistakes too many. You look at others and think I must be more involved with them than with you. You see their blessings and wonder where yours are. But listen to me now and let this truth settle deep inside you. I am intimately involved in every detail of your life. I care about the things that worry you. I know how many times your heart has been disappointed. I know how many nights you cried quietly so no one would hear. I know how many times you felt strong on the outside while breaking on the inside. I know all of it, and I have not turned away. I know your weaknesses, and they do not repel me. I know your failures, and they do not shock me. I know your fears, and they do not diminish my love for you. I knew all of this before you ever came to me, before you ever prayed your first prayer. And still, I chose you. Still, I called you. Still, I stayed. My authority is not threatened by your brokenness. My power is revealed through it. You may feel like you have gone too far or waited too long. You may feel like you missed something important or disappointed me beyond repair. But my child, if that were true, I would not be speaking to you now. I do not chase what I have abandoned. I do not call what I have rejected. I am here because you still matter deeply to me. I am here because your story is not finished. I am here because I see who you are becoming, not just who you have been. I know the pressure you feel to have everything figured out, to be perfect. I know the weight of expectations you carry, both from others and from yourself. I know how often you question whether you are enough, whether you are doing enough, whether you will ever feel settled inside. I see how you replay conversations in your mind, wishing you had said something different. How you overthink decisions, terrified of making a mistake. How you blame yourself for things you could not control. I see it all, and I want you to hear this clearly. I am not disappointed in you the way you think I am. I do not measure you the way the world does. I do not reduce you to your productivity, your past, or your performance. I look at your heart. I see your effort. I see your desire to do what is right even when you feel weak. I see the kindness you show when no one thanks you. I see the restraint you practice when anger would be easier. I see the faith you cling to even when doubt surrounds you like a fog. These things matter to me more than you realize. They are precious to me. My authority also means my promises are true. When I say I am with you, I am with you. When I say I will not leave you, I will not leave you. When I say I know you fully. You do not have to prove yourself to earn my attention. You already have it. You do not have to clean yourself up before coming to me. I already know the mess. I already stepped into it to find you. This is personal because I am speaking into your specific moment. I know what you are facing right now. I know the decision you are avoiding because you are afraid of the outcome. I know the conversation you are afraid to have. I know the habit you are struggling to break, the chain that feels too heavy. I know the hope you are afraid to believe again because disappointment hurt too much last time. I am not speaking in general terms. I am speaking into your life as it is right now. You may feel unseen by people. You may feel misunderstood, overlooked, or forgotten. But you are never unseen by me. You are never misunderstood by me. I know what you meant even when your words came out wrong. I know your intentions even when others judge your actions. I know your heart even when you struggle to understand it yourself. My child, I want you to rest in this truth. You are known fully and completely, and still deeply loved, not tolerated, not endured, loved. I do not speak to you from a distance. I speak to you as one who walked among humanity, who felt hunger, pain, betrayal, sorrow. I know what it is to be misunderstood.
I know what it is to be rejected. I know what it is to love and not be believed.
The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. And because I know these things, I speak to you with compassion and authority together. Let this moment settle your heart. Let my words quiet the noise inside you. You do not need to strive right now. You do not need to defend yourself. You do not need to hide. Just listen. I see you. I know everything. And I am speaking to you because you matter more to me than you have ever allowed yourself to believe. Stay with me. I am not finished speaking to you yet. My beloved child, when I say no more chances, I need you to hear my heart clearly, not through fear, not through guilt, not through the lens of human anger, but through truth. These words are not cruelty, they are not rejection, they are not abandonment. They are truth spoken at a moment when truth can no longer be delayed. I am not withdrawing my love from you. I am revealing the seriousness of time. I am showing you where you truly stand, because love that hides truth is not love at all. You have lived under grace for a long time, longer than you realize, longer than others could see. I extended patience again and again, not because I was unaware of your wandering, but because I was merciful. I gave you space to grow, space to learn, space to return when you drifted. I spoke softly when your heart was tender, and I whispered when you were fragile. I sent warnings wrapped in kindness, corrections wrapped in mercy, convictions wrapped in compassion. Each time you felt it, each time you knew it was me. But my child, grace is not endless permission. Grace is opportunity. Grace is time given so that repentance can happen, so that obedience can take root, so that transformation can begin. Grace is not meant to be used as a place to stay. It is meant to be a bridge you cross, and there comes a moment when the bridge must close. Not because I desire to entrap you, but because staying where you are will destroy you. When I say you have ignored warnings, I do not say this to shame you. I say it because it is true. You felt the unrest in your spirit and called it stress. You felt conviction and called it overthinking. You felt my hand pulling you away from certain things, and you resisted because letting go felt too costly. You told yourself you would change later, decide later, obey later, but later became a habit, and habit shaped destiny. I warned you through quiet moments when peace left you. I warned you through people who spoke truth you did not want to hear. I warned you through doors that closed and opportunities that slipped away. I warned you through restlessness, through heaviness, through that inner knowing you could not silence. Each warning was an invitation, not a threat. Each warning was me saying, "Come back now before this costs you more." But my child, understand this. Ignoring truth does not make it disappear. It only makes its consequences louder. When you ignore repeated warnings, the tone must change. Not because I become harsh, but because the danger becomes real. A parent shouts when a child runs towards traffic, not because they are angry, but because silence would be deadly. This is where you are now. Silence would harm you. Softness would no longer protect you. So I speak plainly. Grace has been stretched, not broken, not removed, but stretched to its limit for this season. You are standing at the edge of a decision that will shape what comes next. I will not continue to call what is destructive safe just to keep you comfortable. I will not bless what I have already warned you to leave. I will not protect you from consequences you insist on choosing. That is not love. That is not faithfulness. That is not who I am. You must understand something important. When I say no more chances, I am not saying you will never be forgiven again. I am saying this window of repeated mercy without consequence is closing. I am saying that the season where you could delay without cost is ending. Choices made from this point forward will carry weight. They will move quickly. They will produce results faster than before. You will not have the same cushion you once had. I warn you because I saw what would happen if you continued. I saw how small compromises would grow into chains. I saw how familiar sin would harden into identity. I saw how hesitation would turn into disobedience. I saw how fear of obedience would rob you of peace, and I could not stay silent anymore. You may feel scared hearing this, but listen carefully. Fear is not my goal. Awakening is. I want you to feel the urgency, not so you panic, but so you finally move. You have lived too long in between, half deciding, half surrendering, half trusting. That place feels safe, but it is the most dangerous place of all. It slowly drains life without you noticing. It keeps you busy without making you free. My grace has been stretched because I kept hoping you would choose willingly. I kept hoping you would turn without needing stronger correction. I waited while you stayed comfortable in what was slowly harming you. I waited while you told yourself you had time.
The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. But time is not something you control. And now I tell you the truth because love demands it. You do not have the luxury of delay anymore. This is not cruelty. Cruelty would be letting you keep drifting until the damage was irreversible. Cruelty would be allowing you to believe everything was fine while your spirit slowly starved. Cruelty would be affirming choices that lead to loss. Truth, even when it shakes you, is mercy when it arrives in time. My child, I am still here. I am still calling. But I am calling you to act, not to consider. I am calling you to surrender, not to negotiate. I am calling you to trust me beyond your fear of what obedience will cost. What disobedience will cost is far greater. And I say this with a heart that aches for you, not one that condemns you. If you turn now, fully, honestly, without conditions, you will find me ready. You will find grace still sufficient, strength still available, guidance still clear. But if you continue to delay, you will step into consequences I warned you about, not because I desire them, but because truth was ignored. So listen one more time, my beloved. These words are not meant to crush you. They are meant to wake you. No more chances does not mean no love. It means love is now asking you to choose. My beloved child, I am telling you now what is about to happen, not to frighten you, but to prepare you. What is coming will not arrive slowly. It will not give long warnings. It will not unfold in gentle steps. It will come suddenly, in a moment, in a breath, in a way that makes many stand still and ask how everything changed so fast. You will feel it before you understand it. You will sense the shift before you can name it. The ground you thought was steady will move beneath your feet, and what once felt familiar will no longer respond the way it used to. This change will not announce itself politely. It will interrupt plans. It will disrupt routines. It will silence voices you once trusted and amplify truths you tried to avoid. Many will say, "I never saw this coming," even though the signs were there all along. The speed of it will be shocking. One day, things will appear normal, and the next day, what you depended on will feel unstable. This is not chaos without purpose. This is exposure. This is separation. This is the revealing of what was never meant to carry the weight you placed on it. What is shifting is not only around you, it is within hearts. Beliefs that were built on comfort instead of truth will collapse. Confidence rooted in control will evaporate. Systems people trusted to protect them will fail to do so. Relationships built on convenience will strain and break. Words that once sounded convincing will lose their power. What people trusted to save them will not be able to stand when pressure comes. I am allowing this because many have placed their trust in things that cannot give life. They trusted security instead of surrender. They trusted people instead of truth. They trusted routine instead of relationship with me. They trusted what they could see, touch, and manage, and they ignored the unseen foundation that truly holds life together. Now that foundation is being tested. The shock will come because the fall will be quick. What took years to build will crumble in a short time. What seemed strong will prove fragile. What appeared permanent will reveal its limits, and many will feel exposed, stripped of what made them feel safe. They will scramble to rebuild, to replace, to regain control. But control will not return the way it was. This is not punishment. This is awakening. I need you to understand this clearly. I am not destroying what is good. I am removing what is false. I am not tearing down truth. I am shaking lies until they can no longer stand. Everything that cannot survive truth must fall, or it will destroy those who cling to it. This is mercy, even though it does not feel gentle. What people trusted will fall because it was never meant to be their foundation. Careers, money, influence, approval, plans, routines, even religious structures without relationship. All of these can fail when they are treated as gods. When pressure comes, they cannot carry the weight of the soul, and pressure is coming. You will see sudden changes in people you thought would never change. Some will walk away from what they once claimed to believe. Some will awaken and turn fully to me. Masks will slip. Hidden motives will surface. Loyalty will be tested. The lines will become clearer. The neutral ground will disappear. People will no longer be able to stand in between. This shift will shock because it will be undeniable. It will touch finances, stability, identity, direction. It will force questions people have avoided for years. What do I really believe? What have I built my life on? Who do I turn to when this fails? Those who never prepared their hearts will feel lost. Those who ignored my voice will feel disoriented. Those who trusted themselves above me will feel afraid. But hear me now, my child. If you are anchored in me, this shaking will not destroy you. It will clarify you. It will remove fear that did not belong to you. It will remove distractions that slowed you down. It will break attachments that were quietly draining your strength. What feels like loss for others will become alignment for you if you stay close to me. The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. Do not be surprised when what once worked stops working. Do not panic when familiar support disappears. Do not chase what is falling. Falling things cannot save you. Let them go. What I am building in you cannot be shaken. What I am placing before you will not depend on the systems that are failing. I am making room for something new, something cleaner, something rooted in truth. This sudden change will also bring sudden clarity. You will see more clearly who is for you and who is not. You will understand why certain doors closed and why certain prayers were delayed. You will recognize that what you thought was rejection was protection. What you thought was loss was preparation. The shock will give way to understanding for those who trust me. Many will try to return to what was. They will say, if we can just go back, but there is no going back. The old structures cannot hold what is coming next. I am moving forward, and those who cling to the past will struggle. Those who release it will be carried. What they trust will fall because trust was misplaced. But I remain. I do not fall. I do not change. I do not fail. When everything else proves temporary, I will still be standing. When noise fills the world, my voice will still be clear to those who listen. When fear spreads, my peace will still guard those who surrender. This revelation is not meant to make you anxious. It is meant to make you ready. Stay close to me. Do not harden your heart. Do not cling to what I am asking you to release. Do not build on what is already cracking. Build on me. What is about to happen will shock many, but it does not have to destroy you. Let it drive you deeper into truth. Let it strip away what was never secure. Let it teach you where real life is found. My beloved child, stop right where you are. Do not scroll past this message. I know you almost did. I saw your hand ready to move on, ready to search for something else to fill the emptiness you have been carrying. I know that part of you has become so used to disappointment that you almost did not give this message a chance. You have built a wall of cynicism to protect your heart. But something made you pause. Something told you to wait. Something whispered to your spirit that this moment was different from all the others. That something was me. This is not a coincidence. This is not random chance that brought you here. Out of the millions of voices speaking in the world right now, you are the one who stopped. You are the one who felt the pull to stay. You are the one who needed to hear what I am about to say. And what I am about to say will change everything. I need you to understand something before we go any further. I have been waiting for this moment. I have been orchestrating circumstances, arranging timing, preparing your heart for exactly this conversation. Everything that has happened in your life, every door that closed, every prayer that seemed unanswered, every delay that frustrated you has been leading to this moment, this message, these words, this encounter. I know about the 7 years. Yes, I said 7 years, and I felt something shift in your spirit when you heard that number, because you know exactly what I am talking about. You know exactly which 7 years. I mean the 7 years that were stolen from you. The 7 years of struggle, of waiting, of wondering if things would ever change. The 7 years of watching others move forward while you felt stuck in the same place. The 7 years of putting on a brave face while your heart was breaking. The 7 years of praying prayers that seemed to bounce off the ceiling. The 7 years of hoping for breakthrough that never seemed to come. I have counted every single day of those 7 years. Every tear that fell from your eyes when no one was watching.
every prayer that you whispered in the darkness, every silent scream that echoed in your soul when the pain became too much to bear, every moment when you wondered if you had been forgotten, every night when sleep wouldn't come because worry had taken its place, every morning when you had to force yourself to get out of bed and face another day of the same struggle. I have counted them all. I have recorded them all. I have remembered them all. And I am here to tell you, the reversal has begun. Not the reversal is coming someday. Not the reversal might happen if you do everything right. Not the reversal is scheduled for next year. The reversal has begun right now in this moment. As you hear these words, I know you have heard promises before. I know people have told you that things were about to change only for them to stay the same. I know preachers have prophesied breakthroughs that never materialized. I know friends have spoken hope that turned out to be empty. And I know that each of those disappointments added another layer of protection around your heart. But I am not a preacher speaking from a platform. I am not a friend guessing at what might happen. I am not a well-meaning voice offering empty comfort. I am the God who spoke the universe into existence. I am the one who holds the stars in their courses and calls them each by name. I am the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega.
The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. When I speak, reality rearranges itself to align with my words, and I am speaking over your life right now. What I declare cannot be undone. What I promise cannot be prevented. What I determine cannot be defeated. The powers of hell itself cannot stop what I have set in motion. Every angel in heaven is aligned with my purposes. Every force of good in the universe is working on your behalf. The reversal that I am declaring is not a wish. It is not a hope. It is a divine decree, and divine decrees become reality. So let me tell you again, with all the authority of heaven behind it, the reversal has begun. But before I show you what is coming, you need to understand something that will unlock everything else. There is a revelation I am about to give you that will change the way you see your past, your present, and your future. It will explain why the waiting happened. It will reveal what was being built in the seasons that felt like destruction. It will show you the purpose behind the pain. Stay with me until the end. What I reveal will change the way you see your entire life. I see you, not the version of yourself that you show the world, not the carefully curated image you present on social media, not the confident smile you wear at work or at church. I see past all of that. I see the real you, the one who exists when no one else is watching, the one who cries in the shower so no one will hear, the one who lies awake at night wondering if things will ever change, the one who has learned to function while carrying a weight that would crush most people, the one who keeps going not because you feel strong, but because you do not know what else to do. You have become skilled at hiding, my child. Years of disappointment have taught you to protect yourself. You have learned to keep expectations low so that you cannot be hurt again. You have learned to say, "I am fine," when your heart is screaming that nothing is fine. You have learned to celebrate the success of others while secretly wondering why your own breakthrough seems so delayed. But hiding takes energy, pretending takes strength, and you are running out of both. Let me tell you what I know about you. I know that there have been moments, private moments, when you have questioned whether I was still there. Not loud questions, just quiet wonderings in the dark places of your mind. Does God see me? Does God hear me? Did I do something wrong that caused him to turn away? Have I been forgotten? I have heard every single one of those questions, and I have not been offended by them. How could I be offended by the honest cries of a heart that is longing for me? Your doubts do not push me away, they draw me closer. Here is something you need to understand. I have been closer to you in these difficult years than in the easy ones. When everything was going well, you reached for me occasionally. But when the storms came, when the waiting stretched longer than you ever imagined, you reached for me constantly. You prayed out of desperation. You sought me out of necessity. You clung to me because I was the only thing stable in a world that was shaking. You may feel that the struggle has weakened your faith, but I am telling you that it has deepened it. The roots of a tree grow strongest when the winds blow hardest. The muscles grow strongest when they are pushed to their limits. The faith grows strongest when it is tested beyond what seems bearable. You are not weaker than you were 7 years ago. You are stronger. You just cannot see it yet because you are still in the process. But I see the finished product. I see who you are becoming, and what I see takes my breath away. Let me go deeper still. There is a fear that you have not spoken to anyone. It is a fear that lives in the basement of your soul. You are afraid that the waiting has not been preparation. You are afraid it has been punishment. Somewhere along the way, you started to believe that you did something wrong, that you missed a step, that you made a choice years ago that disqualified you from the blessing you see others receiving. You have replayed decisions in your mind, wondering which one was the mistake that cost you everything. Listen to me carefully. That is a lie. The waiting was never punishment. I do not operate that way. I do not keep records of wrongs for my children. When you came to me and asked for forgiveness, I forgave completely. I did not forgive most of your sins and keep a few in reserve to punish you with later. I forgave all of them. The delay was never rejection. I did not look at your life and decide that you were unworthy of blessing. You are not being punished for something you did wrong. You are being positioned for something I have planned. The struggle was never a sign that I had forgotten you or moved on to someone more deserving. There is no one more deserving. That is the nature of grace. It is not earned and it cannot be lost. You receive blessing because of who I am, and I am a father who delights in giving good gifts to his children. So why the wait? Why the 7 years of difficulty? Why the prolonged season of struggle? I am going to show you something, but first I need to reveal one more layer, the deepest one.
The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. There is a dream that you stopped dreaming years ago. Your heart was full of vision. You could see the life you wanted to live. You could imagine the person you wanted to become. That dream was so vivid, so alive, so real to you that you could almost touch it. You believed it was coming with every fiber of your being. You knew that it was your destiny. But then the disappointments came, one after another, like waves crashing against a shore. They eroded the landscape of your hope. The doors closed, not just one door, but door after door after door. The opportunities vanished, the relationships ended, the health failed, the finances crumbled. And piece by piece, you began to dismantle the dream. You told yourself it was practical. You told yourself you were being realistic. You told yourself that dream was for someone else, not for you. You didn't kill the dream quickly. That would have been too painful. Instead, you starved it slowly. You stopped feeding it hope. You stopped watering it with faith. You stopped giving it the attention it needed to survive. You focused on just getting through today, and tomorrow's possibilities faded into obscurity. And eventually, the dream became so small, so weak, so silent that you could pretend it had never existed at all. You buried it in the graveyard of abandoned hopes. But I remember that dream. I remember it because I am the one who planted it inside you. It was never your idea alone.
It was a seed that I placed in the soil of your heart. Before you were born, I knew the dream you would carry. Before you ever imagined what your life could be, I had already written the chapters that would lead you there. And here is what you need to know. The seed is still there. It has been dormant. It has been buried under layers of disappointment and self-protection. It has been waiting in the darkness of your heart, but it is not dead. Seeds can survive underground for years, waiting for the right conditions to break through the surface. They can remain in a state of suspended animation, appearing lifeless, but actually preserving life within. Your dream has been in a similar state, not destroyed, just waiting, not dead, just sleeping. And I am telling you now, the conditions are changing. The season of dormancy is ending. The season of breakthrough is beginning. What you thought was dead is about to come to life. What you thought was lost is about to be found. The dream you buried is about to resurrect. But before I show you the fullness of what is coming, I need to take you through something important. There is a revelation that will unlock everything. It is connected to the 7 years. There is a pattern woven throughout the fabric of creation that most people never notice. It is the number 7. When I created the world, I worked for 6 days and rested on the 7th. This was not because I was tired. I worked for 6 days and rested on the 7th because I was establishing a principle. After 6 comes completion, fullness, and rest. After labor comes reward. After struggle comes breakthrough. When Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, what did he see? 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. And what happened after those 14 years? An entire nation was saved. A family that had been torn apart was reunited. A promise that Joseph would rule became reality. Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister, from victim to victor, all because he understood the power of the 7-year cycle. When Joshua led the people to Jericho, how did the walls fall? They marched for 6 days, but on the 7th day, they marched 7 times. And on that final circuit, at the completion of the 7th cycle, the walls collapsed. What seemed impossible became reality in a moment. When Naaman the leper came for healing, he had to dip in the river 7 times. The first 6 times, nothing happened, but on the 7th dip, his flesh was restored. The healing came in a single moment at the completion of the 7th cycle. Do you see the pattern? 7 is a signal. It is a marker. It is a divine indicator that completion has arrived. Now, look at your own story. Think back to 7 years ago. What changed? What started? What ended? Most people hearing this will be able to identify something significant that happened around that time. A major shift, a complete change of direction, something that started the clock on a period of waiting. This was not random. When that difficult season began, you thought it was the worst thing that could happen to you. But what you did not know was that you were entering a divine cycle, a 7-year cycle that would test you, train you, transform you, and position you for the greatest breakthrough of your life. Let me tell you a story about a farmer. He inherited a field that had always produced abundant crops, but when he took over, for 6 consecutive years, the harvests were poor. Drought came, pests attacked, storms destroyed. By the end of the 6th year, the farmer was ready to give up. He had exhausted his savings. He had tried everything. Nothing worked. He decided the 7th year would be his last attempt. He planted his seeds with very little hope. But something was different about the 7th year. The rains came at exactly the right time. The sun shone with exactly the right intensity. The pests disappeared. The storms went around his property. The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge, and the crop that grew was unlike anything he had ever seen. It was a harvest so abundant that it made up for all 6 years of lack combined.
The grain was so plentiful, he had to build new barns. The quality was so high, buyers paid premium prices. The farmer fell to his knees and wept. He finally saw what had been happening. The 6 years of drought had not been punishment, they had been preparation. The soil had been resting, building up nutrients. The farmer's character had been developing. His pride had been dismantled so that humility could be built. His self-reliance had been stripped away so that God-dependence could take its place. Everything that looked like failure was actually foundation. This is what has been happening in your life. The difficult years were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to prepare you. Every challenge was building something inside you. Every setback was positioning you for a comeback. Every delay was creating capacity. Let me be specific about what the 7 years have developed in you. They have developed patience. You have learned to trust the process. This patience will serve you well in the next season. They have developed discernment. Through trial and error, you have learned to recognize what is real and what is counterfeit. You have learned to distinguish between open doors that lead to destiny and open doors that lead to distraction. They have developed compassion. Because you have suffered, you understand suffering. You can guide others who are walking through their own valleys. They have developed humility. The pride that might have corrupted success has been dismantled. This humility will keep you grounded in the next season when success comes. They have developed faith. Not the untested faith that believes when everything is going well, but the battle-tested faith that believes when nothing makes sense. Your faith has been refined like gold in fire. They have developed resilience. You have been knocked down, but you have gotten back up. This resilience will sustain you, because breakthrough does not mean the absence of challenges. It means the presence of power to overcome them. They have developed gratitude. When you finally receive what you have been waiting for, you will not take it for granted. You will treasure every good thing because you remember what it was like to have nothing. All of this has been developing in you. These qualities did not exist in you at this level 7 years ago. You would not have been able to handle what is coming with the character you had then. But now you are ready. The preparation is complete. The foundation is laid. You are not the same person who entered this difficult season, and that is exactly the point. The person who will walk in the breakthrough is the person who was formed in the waiting. You could not have handled the blessing 7 years ago. I saw weaknesses that would have caused you to lose it. I saw pride that would have corrupted it, so I allowed you to go through a process. I let you experience pressure to form a diamond. I permitted heat to forge steel. The waiting was not wasted time, it was training time. The struggle was not punishment, it was preparation. The delay was not rejection, it was development. I was not saying no to you, I was saying not yet. But here is what you need to understand. The 7 years are complete. The preparation is finished. The process is done. The cycle has reached its end. And just like the farmer, you are about to see your life explode with breakthrough. Wait, stop. I need you to hear this again. The 7 years are complete. Not almost complete. Complete. The moment you have been waiting for has arrived. The breakthrough is no longer in the future. It is now. Not next year, not next month, now. After years of hearing wait and be patient, the word over your life has changed. The word is now. The word is today. The word is here. But there is something you must understand about how this breakthrough will manifest. It will not look like you expected. It will be better. So much better that you will laugh at what you once thought you wanted. I am not in the business of simply returning what was taken.
I am in the business of upgrading. I am in the business of exceeding expectations. The relationship you lost, I am bringing you a connection that will surpass anything you experienced before. What you lost was a placeholder. What I am bringing is the promise. The finances that were destroyed, I am opening doors of provision that will establish generational wealth. The financial struggle that defined your past will become the financial testimony that defines your future. The health that was stolen, I am renewing your youth. The symptoms that plagued you will disappear. The diagnosis will be reversed. You will feel alive in ways you had forgotten were possible.
The middle-aged man, with a slightly hoarse voice and a hint of anger, possessed considerable knowledge. The dream that died, I am expanding it beyond anything you originally imagined. The vision I have for your life is bigger than the vision you had for yourself. The dream you had was a seed. What I am bringing is a forest. This is the nature of divine reversal. It does not simply undo the damage. It multiplies the blessing. It launches you into where you were always meant to be. Remember Ruth? She lost everything. Husband, status, security. She chose the uncertain path of faith. For a season, it looked like hardship. She was a widow gleaning in a field, but I was positioning her. Ruth went from gleaning in a field to owning the field. She went from widow to wife, from poverty to prosperity, from foreigner to the lineage of the Savior. What looked like the end of her story was actually the setup for her greatest chapter. This is what I am doing in you. The losses were the setup. The disappointments were positioning. The waiting was preparation for a breakthrough that will make Ruth's story look small in comparison. But before I show you the specific promises, I need to speak to your heart. Come closer. I know you are tired, the kind of tired that sleep does not fix. It is a tiredness of the soul. It is the weariness of fighting a battle that never seems to end. It is the fatigue of carrying a weight for years that you were never meant to carry alone. You have been fighting for so long that you have forgotten what peace feels like. You have been hoping for so long that hope itself has become exhausting. Every day takes effort that you are not sure you have left to give. It's okay to feel that way. I am not disappointed in your tiredness. I am not frustrated by your weariness. I am looking at you with the eyes of a father who sees his child after a long and difficult journey. I am standing with my arms open in welcome. I am embracing you exactly as you are, tiredness and all. You have done well. I know you don't feel like it. I know you carry a catalog of mistakes, but from my perspective, you have done well. You stayed. Staying when everything in you wanted to leave, that is strength. Staying when the voices in your head said it was pointless, that is faith. Staying when everyone else would have understood if you walked away, that is loyalty. Staying when the pain made every day feel impossible, that is courage. You are not weak for being tired. You are human. Your weakness is designed to lead you to my strength. So let me be your strength in this moment. Let me carry the weight. You have been trying to do it all yourself for so long, not because you didn't believe in me, but because you didn't want to burden me. Here's a secret. You could never burden me. Your problems are not too big for me. They are not even challenging for me. The obstacles that seem insurmountable to you are invisible to me. I spoke galaxies into existence. Your situation is not difficult for me. What I want from you is not your striving, it is your trust. Trust that I see the full picture. Trust that I am working. Trust that my timeline is better. Trust that my love for you has never wavered.
In this moment, I am not asking you to do anything. I am simply asking you to receive. Receive my peace. Receive my love. Receive my presence. The breakthrough is coming. The reversal has begun, but you do not have to anxiously wait for it. It is already done in the spiritual realm. It is simply manifesting in the natural one. Your striving won't speed it up. Your worry won't make it happen. It is finished. You are just watching the unveiling. Take a breath, a deep one. Let your shoulders drop. Let the tightness leave your body. You are safe. You are loved. You are held. You are mine. And what belongs to me, no one and nothing can take away. I am with you. I will guide you through the change. And when the shaking passes, you will still be standing because you trusted the one who never falls. Amen.